Now it's time for my take on something that really got X talking this week. Could the mainstream media, potentially, and I don't want to put them out here, maybe dig a little deeper into the sources they quote verbatim? Blindly republishing any information that you haven't verified is unethical and lazy. But when that information comes directly from terrorists, well, it's downright dangerous. War resumed in the Middle East this week, and yes, people will die. Plenty of terrorists, hopefully, and good riddance, but also women and children. And that is utterly tragic. But it happens, particularly when you are dealing with Hamas, who either hide in tunnels or behind families. So when these same people who filmed themselves slaughtering over 1,200 innocent people on October 7, while simultaneously taking hostages, including 2 babies they then killed, when they release numbers of those killed and the demographic before it would be humanly possible to know, then maybe exercise a little skepticism. I don't want to throw you here. All I'm saying is maybe, just maybe, the same group of savages who burnt 3 children alive in a room and laughed don't necessarily value nor tell the truth. More media outlets than I could count this week reported as fact numbers of those killed directly from Hamas. Some even repeating again as fact that it was, and I quote, mostly women and children. Urban warfare expert John Spencer with the following take. And poof, international media returns to reporting civilian casualty numbers provided by the Hamas Gaza Health Ministry, who can determine casualty numbers in minutes and hours with no caveats of sources, descriptions of methods of counting, distinction of combatant versus non-combatant, or context of cause of death, etc., etc. Now, Reuters, whose job it is, by the way, to feed thousands of media outlets and millions of consumers around the world their information, a trusted source apparently, sent this alert. Israeli strikes kill 326 in Gaza, collapsing ceasefire with Hamas. Not even a caveat, like according to Hamas in this alert. And collapsing the ceasefire? That was collapsed by the terrorists when, and I quote, acting US Ambassador to the United Nations, Dorothy Shea, says, the brutal terrorist organisation refused every proposal and deadline they've been presented with over the past weeks. The blame for the resumption of hostilities lies solely with Hamas. Now, I myself would go further. The blame for this entire sorry saga lies solely with Hamas. The blame for every single child killed in Gaza lies solely with Hamas. Can we all please stop pretending like there are 2 legitimate sides in this war who are maybe having a fight or a dispute over land? That is not the case. Hamas are sadistic murderers who hand their own people a death sentence through their very existence. If those who purport to care about children dying in Gaza, and that should be every single human being, could wake up and realise who their real enemy is, then that would go a long way towards saving them. The same day the initial ceasefire was reached, Hamas leadership went on global television and promised to repeat the atrocities of October 7 at the first chance they got. And the Ceasefire Now Brigade, well, they were silent. Their children will continue to tragically die as long as they value killing Israeli Jews more than the lives of their own loved ones. There are still 59 hostages in Gaza. They aren't just a number, not a fake one either. They are real people with mothers and fathers and children who haven't breathed fully since their capture. And Hamas are refusing to engage. This isn't rocket science. Now, no one expects the media to be fair or to be thorough or accurate. Most of us have completely given up on most of you by now. But at the very least, please, when terrorists are your main source, exercise just a little bit of caution. A lot, if you can possibly muster it. And stop doing their dirty work for them. It only hurts those children you pretend to care about, and a hell of a lot of other people too. That's it for 69X Minutes, where the real stories always get told. I'm Erin Molan. Thank you so much for joining us. No spin, no censorship, just the truth. Stay on X. You know that's where it's at. See you next time.